If you could please, somebody let me know in the comments whether the audio is working. It could get a little noisy. I'm not from the beautiful beach this time. I thought I'd change it up a little bit and come over here. I wish I would have started about 15 minutes earlier because I just had a couple manatee come across. But we are on the Jolly Bridge. You can see the cars behind me. This railing that I've got in front of me is pretty tall, so I've got my tripod mounted to the railing, and my phone is hanging over the water, so without a net. So let me show you where I'm at. Actually, let me flip this around. So as you can see, I'm on one of these little overhangs. It's got the bench and the little outcropping. Here's another one right there. There's about, let me see, 1, 2, 3, I think there's 3, maybe 4 of these on the bridge. I'm at the top. I'm right over the channel just about. And I'm right, let me flip this around. And you can see the yacht club right over there. So literally, not 15 minutes ago, some manatee came across. If you're familiar with this area at all, you know these are the power lines that go across the Marco River and into Marco. There's the poles. Here's the other pole. And the manatee, let me see here, it came right across here, right by that pole. They ended up going from the pole into the harbor there at the yacht club. So that was pretty cool. There's only been 2 boats that have come by. Let's take a look at the sunset. That's why we're here. Just a moment, I'm going to check the comments. And I don't have any comments yet. If somebody could let me know whether the audio is good, I'd appreciate it very much. So until I hear more, I'm just going to assume it's doing well. Did I say that was hanging over the water? Yeah, I almost lost that. Let's see. Back up. Let me tighten things up a little bit. So the Saharan dust is in the atmosphere, and you can see there's just the audio's good. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it. Hey, Pedro. Good to see you. So let me zoom out and kind of show you here. I'm looking straight at the Snook Inn. And if you saw my video on the sunken boats on Marco Island, if you can see, let me see. It's a little, just a moment, a little difficult right now to see all the way down there. But yeah, it's just about, I'm going to say it's just about in the middle of the camera. One of those sunken sailboats, the one that's right across from the Snook Inn. I'm going to zoom back up. So the Saharan dust that's in the atmosphere, evidently it floats around 4,000 feet, according to what I read. And I've done this before with sunsets. About 4,000 feet, and comes all the way over, and it's just dust and minerals and stuff that get kicked up from the Saharan desert, from the winds, and gets brought over through the airstream, and Southwest Florida gets hit with that. Sometimes it can aggravate allergies or asthma, but I'm not aware of anybody complaining for that. Most people think it just helps the sunset, and you can see how the sun is really defined That's because that stuff is in the air and there's a little bit of a haze, so it's almost acting like a bit of a filter, maybe like a little ND filter. Here comes a boat up the channel. I'll talk about a little bit what's going on in Marco this week. There's a lot of condo projects. You know, we're off season now, so a lot of the condos have restrictions. You can't do projects during season, which makes sense. Be as little disruption to the residents and vacationers and all that good stuff. So they do that. Let's see where this boat is. So they do that during the off season, which is now. And there's been a couple of fishing boats coming in. Low tide was about 2 hours ago. He's slowing down now because he's just getting ready to go in the slow speed minimum wake zone. And actually, looks like he's going to the side of the channel, but still plenty of room over there in the water. Yeah. Back to the sunset, you can see we're kind of getting down in a little bit of the hazy part. So I know of a number of parking lots that are getting ripped up this week, painting going on at condos, things like that. Same thing with city projects. There's a bridge in a neighborhood near us on Goldenrod. It's going to get redone here shortly. But a lot of the restaurants are throwing deals out right now, and I've seen anywhere from 20 to 25% off, or you know, they have a 3-course meal for a certain amount of money and includes a bottle of wine. And to be honest, when we first moved here about 4 years ago, people talked about that. Here we go. Here's some dolphins. We're out here now. People talked about that, and it was right around COVID and stuff like that, so it was kind of weird. Not everybody had that, but now I've seen it in multiple places, and I'm talking some really nice restaurants. If you want to stay at the JW Marriott this week or next Saturday, it's $649 for the night. So I'm not sure how that compares to season, but a friend of mine said, who works at the JW, said that this past week they were about 60% occupancy, which is oddly low for them, and some of the hours were being reduced for the employees just because of lack of demand. So a little lull there. If you were here during the season, you saw a number of the electrical poles, those big concrete electrical poles, getting replaced, like on San Marco, and San Marco was down to one lane. It was really disruptive. Well, now they're working on Bald Eagle, and yeah, working on Bald Eagle. So that continues. I asked one of the guys, he was one of the flagmen, I said, hey, can you tell me why you replaced the poles? Because for me, they look the same. They don't really even look too much taller, if at all. And he said, I'm just here doing the flag. I don't even know. And we had two strong days of rain this past week, and that was really needed. So everybody appreciated that. Although it was literally 2 days in a row, everybody just stayed inside. The 951 boat ramp, which I can look at. Here, I'll show you the 951 boat ramp. Let me spin this around. If I look down here, that's 951 coming in, and you can kind of see the boat ramp down there sticking out from the side of the water. It's just about done. I did a video this week. I put it up. Comes another boat. and I put that up. 2-minute video if you want to check and see. The project looks awesome. They didn't skimp on anything. I mean, it's really top shelf stuff, and it needed it bad, and I'm hoping they built it back even stronger. It's the floating docks, 110 feet long. The ramp's all brand new, still 2-lane, and they're getting ready. They were doing cleanup operations, and they're getting ready to pave the entire lot and put in new lighting, which would be very helpful. I've got my iPad with me. Let me check some. Thank you, Lake. Appreciate that very much. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Got some more people coming underneath me here. You can see that. That is really... Oh, Lance. Hi, Lance. How are you? Lance and I used to work together in Illinois. Good to hear from you, Lance. Hope you and your daughter are doing well. So, let's see. Now, I'm guessing that all the colors are going to come after the sun is below the horizon, but it's just really, really defined. It almost looks like a moonrise. Excuse the shakiness there a minute. Let me adjust. So where was I? 951 boat ramp, and there's a holiday coming up, and if I was a betting man, I would say there's a slight chance it might be involved in that holiday, but no promises, I would imagine. If you remember 2 weeks ago when we did the last Saturday sunset, I told you I was going to do a tour of the watermark, and I did that, and that video is coming out probably Thursday. That place was awesome, and it was really nice to meet the members of the community there. And what I thought was really striking was everybody I met there, the members of the community, they're from Marco Island. So these are people that needed an assisting living level of care or memory care, and they didn't have to leave their beloved Marco Island. And I thought that was awesome. I had lunch there. The chef prepared it, and they're doing really well there. Wait till you see that video. It's an impressive place, and it's not like overly fancy. It's high quality, but it's very homey, and it truly is a community. It's really, really cool. Some of you may know that I've got a friend, and he goes by Beach Bum and Dad on YouTube, and throughout his social channels and all that stuff, he might have 100,000 or more followers, but has a shelling channel, and he comes down to Marco Island and does trips down here, and he is a machine. I'm telling, when I say that, he goes out really early and he stays long, and it's a lot of hours, but he makes really good content. And so he's waiting for a storm or a wind event to come down again here shortly. But if you go check out his channel, Beach Bum and Dad, and it's got all his contact information in there, he's going to start doing one-on-one shelling tours, and he knows this area extremely well. So, and they're by appointment only type things, but nice guy, knows as much as you can know about shells, and he is a non-stop, he is a machine, I'm telling you, he's a shelling machine, but he's a really nice guy. Beach Bum and Dad. Well, the sun, I can still see the sun right over the tops of those condos in Hideaway Beach. Can you see that? And I'm going to wait and see if the colors come out. Got about 12 people watching. Usually, like the Saturday sunset that I did 2 weeks ago, and generally when I do the sunsets, they get about 300 views or so, which is nice. Most people see them after the live event. So the sun is down, well, beyond the condo. Well, let's take a look and see what it's going to do to the sky, if anything. It's been 88, 88, 89 degrees here the last few days. You can feel the humidity coming on a little bit, but we're playing pickleball. Played today, played the other day, and for those of you that come during the season and not during the summer, and you go to the Y, you know that a Saturday is pretty darn busy at the courts. There, they've got 9 courts, and so for comparison, there was enough people for 3 courts today, and there was 2 courts at the end where 2 groups of 4 came, and they were just kind of playing with their family and sort of remained on their own. But as far as pickup games, there was enough for 3 courts today. So got all the pickleball we wanted, and that's about how busy it gets right now. Tuesdays and Thursdays are really big for the kind of the local group. And I was out there Thursday, and we had plenty. We had enough for about four courts, maybe 5 at some time. But the good thing about pickleball, and I won't harp on pickleball, but the good thing about pickleball during this time of the year is it really acclimates you to the heat for the entire summer. And it doesn't get any hotter, I don't think, than it did where we used to live back in central Illinois in the cornfields, but it's just hotter longer. And it doesn't get more humid, it's just humid a little bit longer. But getting acclimated to the heat, playing pickleball either in the morning or in the afternoon really helps. A couple of boats coming in. There's one kind of going somewhere else. He's right below me. Let me come down and see. There's the channel. Yeah, it's cool. That's cool, Lance. Some people say they get notifications, some people they don't. I don't know, you got to ring the bell, you got to hit the notification thing so that you get notified whenever I get ready to go live. I usually put the live announcements up maybe 3 or 4 days in advance so it gets out there a little bit. But like I said, it's popular with the people that like to see Marco when they can't be here, or there's a lot of people that can't get out. Maybe they're older, they have physical limitations, and they can't get to the beach, or they can't get to events on Marco Island, and that's what I really enjoy doing. That is sort of showing them so they don't have to miss out. That's Adventure Steve. I am on the bridge. Let me pan around here. So this is the southbound 2 lanes. And you can't see the northbound 2 lanes because that part is lower and it's just across the other side of that concrete divider. But there are people, you can see the cars down there at the base of the bridge, and you can fish from under the bridge here. It's a really nice setup. It's very clean. It's they keep it groomed. It's gravel and kind of concrete underneath there. It goes all the way through to the other side of both bridges. and really, really nice. Let me come around. Just swing around back towards the yacht club, and here is the other side. And this side of the bridge is not as, I don't know, fancy, not as well set up. It's skinnier under there, but still gets a lot of people fishing. And then on the other side, which would be kind of over here, there's actually a little beach right next to the bridge. So a lot of people come here during their lunch hour to eat their lunch and look at the water. On the weekends, people will set up sun shelters there, right there in the shallow water. They'll fish there, they'll swim there, they'll kayak from there, and it sees a lot of activity. So this side that is probably less developed actually sees maybe more people, that's my guess, than the other side, than the north side of the bridge. You know, the yacht club last November, I think, is when they reopened it. Literally gutted the entire thing, kept it open for services for their members during the whole event, had some exterior tents set up and whatnot so they can still service their members. But I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. They renovated the whole place and did an addition. And I'll be honest, I've been trying to get in there for a video, and I'm not getting a response. So if anybody, and just to be fair, my request went out during the season, as the first season with the new kind of club set up, a new executive director or general manager. So to be honest, I probably would have paid attention to the members and not some guy randomly emailing them who's not a member. So when we get a lull in action here, I'm gonna reapproach and see, because I think everybody would like to see the inside of that place too. I know I would. Well, I'm gonna say the colors, I've seen the colors a lot better than this, but that's where the sun was. And you can see right about where those wires are, the power wires, you can, power lines, you can see some of the clouds, but there's not a whole lot of clouds in the sky. I think it's just the haze from the Saharan dust. I've got one video on my channel, it's probably from a year ago, and it was a drone video that I made, and I flew it from the kind of from the north side of the bridge. You got to be careful because you're right on the limit for the Marco Island Airport, which is just to the right side of that high condominium over that you can see on the other side of the bridge. So you got to be careful, but it was looking out over the bridge and the colors were phenomenal. And I got a really nice video of that. Let me zoom out a bit. Set that down. Maria's supposed to be with me and I lost her. Something came up with the family last minute, and she had to take care of that. I was disappointed, but I love it when she comes with me on these sunset videos. So I wish I could stream with my drone, but it's quite a setup, and then in order to schedule that with YouTube, it doesn't really work well. So I don't know exactly how I can make that happen, but you know, that technology changes very fast, so there's a chance something like that can happen in the near future. Thank you, Joel. I appreciate that very much. Oh, look who chimed in. Princess. Hi, dear. It's not the same without you. I'm sure the sunset would have been more beautiful. So I'm gonna say I'm not an expert on this. Could be some tarpon rolling in the water over here. I've got a neighbor who's a guide, been a guide here for 20 years. He's my fishing hero. And let's see here. And he's in North Florida at a competition this weekend. He talked about these tarpon rolling in the water. He's trying to educate me a little bit because I'm so stupid about it. Ignorant, I should say. So yeah, as soon as I do that, they're going to stop. Let's take a look at the skyline. You know, most people when they roll over the bridge, they see that skyline. So let me show you. That's the entire skyline. Let me zoom in a bit to make it a little bit more. You see the condos, and that's the Crescent Beach, obviously, with those. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it. And that clump you see on the left side of the screen, that's Cape Marco. And then it goes all the way up to South Sea Towers, which are the 4 towers, kind of a group right there about in the middle. And then as you come over the bridge, everybody knows, you can't see this very well from here, but there's the flag with the Marco Island sign, City of Marco Island sign at the base of the bridge. So whenever Maria and I go on a trip and we have to drive and we let our kids kind of track us and follow us to make sure, you know, we're okay. I'm talking like a long trip. Whenever we come back to Marco Island, here's a few of the colors coming. Whenever we come back to Marco Island, to let them know that we got home safe and sound, we take a picture of that and send it to them. How much cash how much cash do I have in my wallet? Let me find out. You are going to be very disappointed. Here's what I got. I got $1 on me. But I think even more valuable, let me see. Even more valuable than that is, check this out. Can you tell what that is? That's a Sweet Annie's punch card. Because I had about 4 or 5 cards and they totaled up to 10 punches, and Maria and I went there and we split the child thing. So we burned one last week. Sweet Annie's, never forget the punch card. 9 more punches and I'm in again. But usually when we have people here, we definitely take them to Sweet Annie's because that's our favorite ice cream. And a lot of times Maria and I won't partake because, you know, we don't want to damage anything, right? Get too fat. And but I do collect all the punches on my cards when I pay. So, and we've got our son and his significant other is coming this week, so I'm sure there's going to be something happening at Sweet Annie's. Can you guys hear the road noise behind me? Can you hear the cars behind me? New England, Connecticut. Oh, that's cool, Steve. Very nice. Somebody let me know, can you hear the road noise behind me? Because this microphone I've got on is supposed to be able to have some kind of noise suppression. You can hear it, yes, okay. Well, hopefully my voice is more powerful than the road noise behind me. Got one more boat coming in. Let me set this down. The Marco Princess is coming in. Yeah, cool. Thanks, Steve. So the Marco Princess is, if you go to Rosa Marina, there's a huge boat, and we're going to see the profile of it here in here in a second. I'm going to mention that. Maybe I'll let you know where you can get one, Steve. So that is the Marco Princess. There's also a boat that I think it's exactly like it because I just saw it this past week called the Naples Princess, and it's docked down by Tin City in Naples. But really, really nice boat. I don't know how long they are, 100 some feet maybe. But you have dinner on them, and then you go out for the sunset. So the grind is for those guys, you get on the boat at Rose Marina here, you sail out, and right away they start the buffet, and I think it's prime rib, very nice. And then you go into Smokehouse Bay. Yeah, I think it's Smokehouse Bay. Yep, the one with the Esplanade. And they cruise all the way back in there because you have to go through some houses, and it's pretty small canal for a boat that big. And so you're right in the middle of everything. And then they cruise around Smokehouse Bay. You get to see the Esplanade. And then as they're coming back out to the Marco River, what they do is they take a left, go down past the Snook Inn. They say hello to Snook Inn, with the horn, flash the lights and all that stuff. And everybody at the Snook Inn waves at you. And then they go out just outside the mouth of the Marco River into the Gulf right there. And they've got it timed perfectly. They know exactly where sunset is and how fast they're traveling. And you sit there, you watch sunset, and then they turn around and here they are coming back to Rose Marina. If you haven't done it before, it's really a nice ride, and I think it's a couple hours maybe is all. But that boat may not look too big right there, but it is a huge boat, very long, and you can see it at Rose Marina because it is on the north end of the marina. And it's kind of backed in, and it's pretty close to the road. Bald Eagle. There's a nice view. Check the comments. So, I'll give a shout out. This is my Oak Island hat, Oak Island, North Carolina, and Adventures Outdoors. Adventure Steve, and he's a YouTube friend of mine, and over the course of the last 5, 6, 7 years we've become friends, and so I visited him up there in Oak Island, which is a really cool island, barrier island right off the coast of North Carolina. And back in the day in the 80s I was stationed up there just north of that, and we had the islands up there, so it really was very nostalgic for me. I love that place. And then this summer him and his wife came down and visited us, and we had a fantastic time, and they became fans of Marco Island just like most people do. So he picked up a lot of Marco Island Gulf of America hats, and when I was up there I got my Oak Island hat, and I love this hat. I'll show you, I'll zoom in here. There's some really nice houses as you come across the bridge, and you kind of see them. And there's one of them that lets me live stream the boat parade from there when I do the boat parade. Because the boat parade lines up right there in the water, right outside of the yacht club, right along this line right here. Let's take a look at the yacht club all lit up. And you can see the sun coming off the condos. The condos are lit up a little bit. So it's turtle nesting season. I was looking at the numbers today, and there's about 150, not quite yet, maybe 147 turtle nests on Marco Island. And then there's like 90, no, wait a minute. Yeah, I think there's 90 or more on Keewaydin Island. So let's look down. You want to see Mr. Dolphin? They're cruising. I don't know. Oh, I've got a manatee right here. Let's see. Right below me. You can see in the reflection off the water. Let's see if he comes back up. So I got dolphin off to my left, manatee right down here, and I thought he was going from left to right. So let me see if he breaks the water again. I could see his fin come out of the water. Oh, there he is. Well, he didn't come out of the water, but I could see him just about break the water, right about in the middle of the screen. Well, those guys can stay down pretty long, and he's in, I don't know, he's in 20 feet of water there. Beautiful night. There's a nice breeze, probably 5 miles an hour, and I'm not getting any bugs up here, which is fantastic. Okay, enough look at the water. We got another boat coming in. I'll keep an eye out for the manatee. He could be under the bridge. Well, we'll wrap this up in just a couple minutes. Any last minute questions? Fire away. Luann wants to know what kind of shoes I'm wearing tonight. Here. This would be the Sketcher slip-on, which is, and I'm holding this out over the water, so this better not drop, but this would be the old guy fake shoelace, because they're elastic band Sketcher models, but it's got that shoehorn slip-in, so extremely comfortable. And to be honest, I wore these tonight because I thought I was going to get out of here soon enough and get Maria and go to the boardroom. But by the time I get down from this bridge and back to the car, the boardroom the music will be done, because it is past, it'll be past Marco midnight, which everybody knows is 9 p.m. So I'm going to let this boat come by, and then I'm going to sign off. How peaceful is that, though? Look at the water. The water is very calm, very smooth. And as I look at my watch here, it's about halfway to high tide. The tides have been pretty high here lately. I think it was 2.6 feet was the last high tide. And that's a pretty good tide. I'll put a link to these shoes in the description when I get home tonight. Because a guy like you would look awesome in these, Steve. Okay, that boat I think is headed, got a nice flag flying. Wonder what flag that is, but he is headed towards, I think, the canal or the yacht club. He's leaning left. It really is a gorgeous night tonight. It's not hot. There's another boat right behind him coming out of one of the canals. if I look over here real quick, you can see the disturbance in the water right in the middle of the screen. Oh, that's dolphin right there. And he's been over there for about 10 minutes, just kind of hanging out right there. Okay, let's see. Here's the boat coming in. I think it's getting too dark. I don't think we're going to see much here if I zoom in on him. I can't tell what kind of flag he's flying. Oh, I can tell. It's the Stars and Stripes, of course. It looks like a rigid inflatable almost. He's headed into the canals. Okay, and you can see. Where are you at, Mr. Dolphin? I just saw you. There he is. Hey, David. Yeah, it is. I just thought I'd change it up. I actually rode my bike over the bridge the other day, and I was like, you know what? Sunsets are decent from here too. Doesn't always have to be the beach, even though you really don't get too much of the beach. But yeah, it's a cool spot. And I wasn't sure if I was going to have to move to one of the other outcroppings in order to get the most of the sun, but the sunset. But this one worked out well. But the colors are looking really nice. Look at them come off the water. There we go. All right, can you still see me? That's good. It's darker out here than it looks, and if I'm out past Marco midnight, I don't know if the curfew police will come get me or not. But thank you everyone for joining, and do me a favor, if you like this type of video, the sunset things, I enjoy going live, but if you like them, that's really what matters. It's not just me. So let me know either in the comment section or hit the thumbs up button, something like that, and let me know, and I'll keep doing them. I thought maybe once every 2 weeks since I'm around. Some things have changed in my schedule where I get to be on the island, or what I should say, I don't have to leave the island that often. So I'm looking forward to spending some more time doing things like that. I'm just watching the dolphin down here as well. So I appreciate everybody watching. I hope you found the video interesting or informative, and I'll see you in the next one.